Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday. And let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. First off, if you have not liked button or the subscribe button yet, go on and do so. We are at 589 subscribers, trying to get to 611 away from that main goal of 600. We're going to have a Q&A at 600 subscribers. At 600, we're going to have a Q&A. And then also, again, like button, share with other people that you know. This is a probably a very crucial time to go on and get the weather information out, especially since there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of the weather and just in terms of other stuff that people might be spreading around, whether that be misinformation or anything like that. So this definitely is the right time to go on and share it out. What are we going to talk about tonight? We are going to talk about the current weather, what's going on right now. We also going to talk about the weather for tonight and the tropics. Then after that, we will go on and we will indeed discuss our cool to seasonable temperatures. And then for the most part, flood risk, and then that's it. So let's go on real quick and talk about what's going on currently. We do have some rainfall right now going on in the PD area as well as the Grand Strand. We also do have some rainfall up over here inside of the upstate from Spartanburg over into Rock Hill to Duncan to Seneca as well. And so we have all of this shower activity going on. And if we look at what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we have rainfall that goes on from North Carolina to Virginia, over into northern Maine, and even into Florida. Rainfall also going on in Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, and then even into Washington, Oregon, and California, Nevada, all having some rainfall as well. Cloud cover right now, we do have some heavy cloud cover right now going from the Midlands going into the eastern areas of South Carolina, over into low country, into the PD and the Grand Strand areas. Now, if we go on and look at our future, that cloud cover will really still continue even as we go into tomorrow. Now, we might see some more cloud cover just kind of like start to disappear a little bit more, especially near the coastal areas and even to like the parts of the inland low country, and even in the Midlands. Some clearing could occur, but it's still going to be mostly cloudy. Current temperature right now, 71 in Columbia as well as 71 in Orangeburg, 72 in Somerville as well as 71 in Sumter, 71 in Florence, and 71 in Hartsville, and even Bennettsville, 73 in Murrells Inlet, 72 in Georgetown, 73 in Myrtle Beach, and 71 in even Conway. If we even go into like 73 down there inside of Charleston, 73 in Beaufort, and then even around 68 in Greenville, 67 in Spartanburg, and even Gaffney, 68 York, Rock Hill, and Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight, 65 in Greenville as well as 64 in Spartanburg, 64 in Rock Hill, and even 67 in Columbia, 68 in Orangeburg, and 67 in Barnwell, 65 in Aiken, and 67 in Walterboro, 68 in Moncks Corner, 70 in Charleston, and 72 in Hilton Head Island, 68 in Georgetown, and even 70 in Myrtle Beach. Now, for our rainfall, good amount of rainfall is possible. Good amount of rainfall for sure is possible. You have like 130 minutes that goes in from Greenville to Spartanburg to Lawrence to Greenwood to even Winsboro, Columbia, Orangeburg, Charleston, Moncks Corner, Hilton Head Island, Sumter, Cheraw. And then we even have a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch goes into Rock Hill, Florence, and Kingstree, quarter of an inch to a half an inch, go into Dillon to Myrtle Beach and to Georgetown. Crazy score. This is, I believe, the wrong crazy score right here. If I go in and look at the actual crazy score for tonight, the actual crazy score is a 25. 25 is not the mild category. And that's obviously because of scattered showers that still persist. Low flood risk still goes on, mild and humid, and even an unsettled atmosphere. And then low clouds to possible fog, breezy conditions, and high moisture favor widespread low cloud and patchy fog possible towards sunshine, towards sunrise. Now, if we go into the SPC outlook, thunderstorms are indeed still possible throughout the coastal areas, going throughout like the eastern Tri-County area, going into the PD and Grand Strand areas. Now, tomorrow, thunderstorms are still possible up there inside of the far upstate as well. And then as you go into Wednesday, nothing for Wednesday here either. As we go into excessive rainfall, isolated flash flooding. Isolated flash flooding is possible over here inside the upstate, down to the Midlands, the Low Country, the Grand Strand PD, all these areas. Isolated flash flooding in the green. Now, as you go into the day, like next like couple of days, isolated flash flooding is not expected there either as well. Now, what about the models? We're going to start with the short-term models first. And as you go in and push this forward, you can see rainfall still goes on throughout the Midlands, throughout the upstate, throughout the PD and the Grand Strand areas. As you go throughout like 11 to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Going all the way into around 4, 5, 6 a.m. Showers starting to move into the upstate as well. And then as you go even into around like early like 7, 8, 9 a.m., showers and downpour activity goes on throughout the upstate as well. A lot of that moisture shifts from the PD all the way into the upstate. And as you go to around 1 p.m., look at this. Isolated shower activity goes on. Not really seeing anything too widespread. But you can see kind of like how the energy moves from that Grand Strand area into the Midlands as you go throughout the nighttime hours, though. Now, if we continue even further into the future, you can see that things really start to calm down, and we actually get really dry as we go into like late tomorrow night, like late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, nice and dry as we go throughout that time frame right there, especially during even the Wednesday afternoon as well. So things start to stable out a lot more. Now, what about our long-term future? So we're going to continue pushing this forward, and even as you go in and push this forward, things dry off a lot. Even as you go into October the 5th, you do have some coastal activity for sure, especially as you get to around like October the 3rd, 4th, 5th. Even as you go into around October the 6th and October the 7th, rainfall moves from the Low Country up into the upstate, and that might continue all the way through to around like the 9th, the 10th. But high pressure takes over. And then once we get to October the 12th, we really can't go any further than that just because it's way too far out. But there is still some more active activity. We can look at active activity, and active activity here, or just activity just in general, and active activity seems to stay as we go throughout kind of like that mid part of October. So as we go into even the temperatures as well, you want to push this forward, you can see all of this cool air starting to push through all the way down into like October like the 5th, October the 6th. You see all this hot temperatures moving through, but then look at all this cool air that tries to get into the state but doesn't quite make it. But you see like these little areas, like these little pockets of cold air trying to move through as you go throughout later this week, and even if you go into next week as well. So pretty much, I will say, even though the cool air is kind of seems there, it's not quite making it. Except for, maybe just like the little couple of pockets that make it, but for the most part, it stays hot. So not a great sign for our cooler fans, but it's definitely going to have some cool days. Now, what about the tropics? We still have Humberto and Imelda out here. Humberto is a 140-mile-per-hour storm. Gusty winds and heavy rainfall are possible within the outer bands of Humberto. The tropical storm watch has been replaced with a hurricane watch due to the forecast of Imelda. Please follow the local updates, for Bermuda. Dangerous marine conditions, including high surf and life-threatening rip currents, are affecting beaches of the northern Caribbean, Bahamas, Bermuda, and much of the east coast of the United States. And so, again, Humberto has no threat to us, but rip currents wise, we actually do have some rip current statement that's out, and that's obviously for high risk. Even as you go into tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, rip currents definitely will stay a factor as you go into tomorrow as well. So if you are going out to the beach, make sure that you are watching for that. Now, obviously, Humberto is not the only thing out here. We have Imelda out here. 65-mile-per-hour storm. It's strengthening, pretty fast. Imelda is expected to intensify into a hurricane on Tuesday with a cyclone approaching Bermuda during the day Wednesday as a hurricane. A hurricane watch is now ineffective for the island of Bermuda due to the expected onset of tropical storm conditions beginning Wednesday afternoon. Tropical storm conditions are expected to continue for another few hours on the Great Abaco, and Grand Bahama Island in the northwestern Bahamas. Rainfall associated with Tropical Storm Imelda will continue to impact the Bahamas through tonight, which may produce flood and urban flooding. And locally heavy rainfall across the coastal Carolinas could cause isolated flash and urban flooding through tonight. And swells and high surf from both Humberto and Imelda are expected to produce dangerous marine conditions and rip currents along much of the east coast of the United States during the next several days. And so, for the most part, there's no more flooding threat. No more flooding threat, really, for us as we go through the next 4 days or so. So, Imelda flooding threat for us is done. But now that that is out of the way, because, there's nothing else really for us to talk about in the tropics. You have some areas that some ensembles are kind of catching up on. That people are catching on. They're seeing like some areas of activity in the Gulf, some in the Atlantic as well. But for the most part, they still haven't highlighted it yet, so we're going to wait for that and see what happens. But that's it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So let me go on and check this out right here. Starting off with my Aunt Lula, who says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Mr. Chris says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. Please remember to go hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. Today actually turned out to be very nice. And so, yes, same thing in my house as well. It was pretty nice, actually, today. It was a bit cloudy. But definitely, I will say, it definitely was not as bad as I thought. Not too much rainfall fell. Not too much rainfall, if any, at all. I think there was like a little bit of a drizzle. That's about it. Then my Aunt Lula then says today in Georgetown was a lot of rain. Definitely the complete opposite for what it was actually at my house today. And then Mr. Anthony said, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." Mr. Chris, or just talking to him. My Aunt Lula comes back and says, "Nephew, thank you so much for your outstanding reporting." No problem at all. No problem at all. My cousin Thad comes in and says, "Good evening, Cousin Joseph and Weather family. I trust all is well. It was a beautiful day here in San Antonio." That's great to hear. Great to hear. I'm glad that it was a great day out there today. And then Trail says, "Greetings, everyone. Greetings to you." And then Thad says, "All is well. Great to be back. Glad that you are back. Glad that you are indeed back. Because we have a forecast to talk about tonight." And you might be asking, what do I mean in terms of a forecast, And I mean the forecast outside of South Carolina, because we're going to be talking about the forecast for Raleigh, North Carolina, San Antonio, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. And if you're asking why in the world do we do those forecasts, it's because we have people from those locations who tune in pretty much almost every single night, if not sometimes every single night. And so they tune in, they come here, and they get, the forecast for South Carolina, but they're not getting a forecast of their own. And so to show our appreciation, we go on and do that for them. So we always, sometimes we can switch it around a little bit sometimes. But that did not mean to do that. We always start off with San Antonio first off. So starting off first, with San Antonio, you have low temperatures tonight at 69, high temperatures tomorrow at 94, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 70. Now, in terms of severe weather, there is no severe weather that is expected at this time. Again, no severe weather is expected at this time. And in terms of excessive rainfall, there is indeed no excessive rainfall that is expected here either. So you're good there. Now, what about Raleigh, North Carolina? You have low temperatures tonight at 67, high temperatures tomorrow at 74, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 63. Precipitation is likely. Showers are likely as you move through tonight. And then showers are likely not only tonight, but also tomorrow. But then once you get to tomorrow night, that's when that shower activity goes away. Now, in terms of severe weather, if I want to get that up right here, no severe weather is expected. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected. Now that those two are out of the way, I did forget them before we get on to Philadelphia and Duncan. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. We have 11 people tune in. We only have 6 likes. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. If you're a part of that 5 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. And you can change your mind at any time. Let me go on to Duncan, Oklahoma. Not Duncan, but Philadelphia. You have low temperatures tonight at 65, high temperatures tomorrow at 86, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. Or 81, excuse me. 81 high temperatures, low temperatures at 55. Had the two Philadelphia and Duncan ones mixed up, but high temperatures 81, low temperatures 55. No severe weather is expected, and no excessive rainfall is expected either. Now, for the final location, you have Duncan, Oklahoma. You have low temperatures tonight at 65, high temperatures tomorrow at indeed 86, low temperatures tomorrow night at 61. No precipitation is expected at this time. And so, even if you go into excessive rainfall as well, I doubt anything's here. But we're still going to go on and check. No severe weather is expected, and no excessive rainfall is expected. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S.? Right now, if I go in and check it out, says right now that swells and high surf for both Imelda and Humberto are expected to bring dangerous marine conditions and rip currents to much of the eastern coast. Over the next several days, a series of Pacific frontal system will bring waves of showers and thunderstorms to portions of Northern California and the Pacific Northwest through midweek. We also do have some high winds that could potentially move through Oregon, California, and Nevada, and then some air quality alerts out from San Antonio over into Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then to Houston, and that is for, just telling you not to be outside for that long. And that was San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then Houston. But that's all that I have. So again, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. We have 589 subscribers, trying to get to 600. We are 11 away, and remember, we're going to have that Q&A at 600. Top fans for tonight is Chris at number 1, my Aunt Lula is at number 2, and then Thad's at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all from the top fans for tonight. Yeah, so that's our top fan. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to be here early, right when the stream starts, and then also you have to be active inside the chat and be a subscriber. But that's all that I have. If you did enjoy the forecast this evening, make sure you go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share button, and I will be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and remember, before you leave, hit those 2 buttons.